call to order.
Hold on.
Ready?
Now we're recording.
All right. This meeting of the Township of Washington is in accordance with the requirements of the New Jersey statutes regarding open public meetings. Notice of this meeting was legally advertised in the Courier Post and the South Jersey Times and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Fire exits are located through the double doors on your left and right. Please silence all mobile devices. This meeting is being videotaped. Anyone who does not wish to be seen on television may be excused. This will be shown on Channel 9 and on the Verizon Channel 36 every week, Sunday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 7 p.m., Friday at 10 p.m., and Saturday at 10 p.m., and will continue until the next meeting. Flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ms. Donato?
Here.
Mr. Longfellow?
Here.
Ms. Pasqualone? Mr. Perry?
Here.
Mr. Fazio?
Here.
Mayor Gattinelli?
Here.
Mr. Platt?
Here.
And Mr. Gonter?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. All right, we have a couple mayoral presentations. First one is the Employee of the Month for January, and it's Officer Gary Agassiz.
Employee of the Month, Officer Gary Agassiz, in recognition of your dedication, passion, and hard work for the month of January 2018. I present this to you. Thank you very much. Be safe out there. This is a photo of Gary that we had taken in action for him, so I signed it with a picture and framed it for him. In a snowstorm. Thank you very much. May I ask Joshua Dix and his family to come up, please? Thank you. So today we have a proclamation for Eagle Scout Court of Honor. The Mayor of Washington Township and members of the Township Council wish to recognize Joshua Dix, Scout Troop 81, for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. The first Eagle Scout rank was awarded in September 1912, and since more than 1.5 million Scouts have achieved the distinction. To earn the distinction of Eagle Scout, the candidate must complete and pass rigid requirements that includes earning a total of 21 merit badges. Joshua earned 28 and became an ordeal member of the Order of the Arrow in July 2014. In addition to the merit badges, Joshua Dix was required to plan, develop, and provide leadership to others in a service project benefiting the community. Joshua Dix led the volunteers in working on the Old Stone House Village in Washington Township. They worked on the train station replacing worn and rotten wood in the platform, repairing the back stairs, pressure washing, and weatherproofing them. Worked on the artifact display cases, fixing and replacing broken display glass and doors, and installing LED lighting. A total of over 140 volunteer hours were needed to complete the project. Joshua Dix has held leadership positions within the troop, librarian, instructor, and currently in the assistant patrol leader so he can help others accomplish their goals. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and members of the Township Council of Washington Township that Joshua Dix be recognized as a leader within our community and congratulated for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. Be it further resolved that I, Mayor, and members of Township Council of Washington Township do hereby declare the proclamation to be an official document authorized by the Township Council and presented to Joshua Dix on this 24th day of January 2018. Congratulations.
Okay, the mayor is going to do a State of the Township address.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate everyone coming out this evening. I just wanted to give you a little synopsis as to what's going on in 2018 and just a year in review for 2017. I just want to thank everyone for the support that you've given us, myself, my administration, council, for the last year. We appreciate that. I know it was something new coming in and we had a lot to do, and we have accomplished a great deal. So I just wanted to give you an idea as to what we're working on for this upcoming year. I stand before council and the residents of Washington Township at the completion of my administration's first year in office to present you with the current state of Washington Township. As I stated in my first 6-month address, there are many goals and objectives of my administration for the betterment of Washington Township and our residents. The overriding goal is to make Washington Township a great place in which to live, work, and raise a family. I am pleased to announce that we have achieved many of the goals that we have set out to accomplish. With the help of Township Council, all our department heads, their supervisors, all of our dedicated employees and volunteers, we are well on our way to making exceptional improvements in 2018. First and foremost, we accomplished our goal not to increase our municipal taxes for 2017. We are currently working diligently on our 2018 budget and look to keep the municipal tax rate stable. The Shop Washington Township program has officially launched, which I am so happy to report. This occurred on January 8th, 2018. We have approximately 25 businesses that have registered to date and many more calling each and every day. Your calendars will be sent shortly. The property tax card will be in the envelope, and I encourage you to sign up right away and start using the card to receive your tax rebates. We have numerous initiatives in place to cut municipal spending while improving municipal services. We have bid and transitioned our energy service provider to reduce costs. We have bid for new banking and transition to increase reliability and reduce fees and expenses. We have obtained lower costs for IT services while increasing bandwidth, speed, and efficiency. We have established an HR department to ensure policies and procedures are followed to mitigate lawsuits between employees and the town. Economic development has always been a priority of mine. We have quite a few new and unique businesses open this year. I was proud to be part of many of these grand openings. I believe a town this large needs variety, and I feel the residents have embraced these new businesses. Also part of this initiative was to establish relationships with developers. My administration and myself had put together new and updated booklets of our town for developers and attended the 40 Mayor, 40 Developers in October. This opened the door to a few new developers that we are currently working with. We have started the process of establishing the EDC position. There will be notice of this put out for RFP on 129 to the League of Municipalities. We strive to improve our public spaces for our residents. I have received many positive comments in our efforts to keep our park clean and orderly. I have to applaud our Public Works Department for working so hard in achieving this goal. Another project that was taken on this year was the maintenance of our municipal golf course. We have updated our fencing, course, turf improvements, and new sign. Our road program continues. We have completed some necessary improvements in 2017. The town engineer, as well as our public works supervisors, have been compiling a list of streets that are in need of paving. We will have an updated list placed in our public works department soon, and with a timeline for all the roads in need. We have purchased a new litter patrol vehicle with the Clean Communities grant. 2 new pole barns that were constructed in order to preserve our public works equipment. We acquired new, more reliable municipal and police vehicles through fleet management and FEMA grant reimbursement, and have made necessary updates and repairs to the municipal building and police station. We continue to be transparent and welcome resident involvement, starting with Coffee with the Mayor, resident budget meetings, open budget hearings, Employee of the Month awards, and biweekly department head meetings. We have utilized our township website with weather-related information, school closings, events, etc. We are connected to social media in order for our town to be better informed. All social media is updated frequently and in some cases by the hour when there are weather-related issues. We are currently working with our tax office and a foreclosure attorney for 2018 to reduce the amount of foreclosed homes in our community. I am proud of our Public Works Department as they are ready when we need them for all our events. This was the first year we had Friday night concerts in September, and they were a huge success. All of our community events this year were a success, from the Shred Days to Super Saturday, to the Wine Festival, the food truck events, movies in the park, music in the park, Cow Project, Trunk or Treat, the annual tree lighting ceremony, and Breakfast with Santa, and much more. Public safety is and always will be a top priority for the betterment of all. I believe community outreach has been a huge success, and I would like to thank Chief Gersek for all his efforts and initiatives, from National Night Out to Fishing with a Cop, Shopping with a Cop, Coffee with a Cop, Cool Off with a Cop, and so much more. I'm proud to report the DARE program has been initiated in our schools as well. I believe it is crucial to educate our children at a young age on choices. Our local Emergency Management Planning Committee has also been hard at work when it comes to the safety of our residents. We have had many drills to prepare for real emergency situations. Preparedness is key. I am pleased to report the efforts of Open Space, Environmental Commission, and Green Team. Washington Township was recognized as a certified sustainable community by Sustainable Jersey. We can count ourselves among the 200 New Jersey municipalities who have achieved this status. I am proud of our initiative in taking steps to go green. Vicki, thank you. Thanks to our Clean Communities grant, my administration was able to implement a recycling assembly in our elementary schools. The children were very receptive. I would like to recognize our local organizations and charities for their tireless efforts to help those in need. I have had the pleasure of meeting most of those special individuals. These charities are able to reach so many people, especially with all of our help. Mother's Cupboard, Mothers Matter, the Cow Project, Christmas Angels, Kathy McGee Memorial Holiday Meals, Tea for Texas, which was established by 4 of our own elementary school students wanting to help those in need after Hurricane Harvey. That's just to name a few. At this time, I would like to address the dais. I want to thank everyone that is up here. My business administrator, Jason Gonter, for all of his tireless efforts to help me achieve my goals and my visions. Our solicitor, Stuart Platt, to keep our litigation to a minimum and offer legal advice and knowledge and his expertise. To all of our council members that also work tirelessly. They work very hard to make the right decisions for all of our residents. I really appreciate everything that you do. And to our clerk, who gets us here twice a month, at least. And he's very prepared and has us well prepared for these meetings. I want to thank you for all that you do as well. So in closing, I'd like to thank all of our Washington Township residents for your continued support, as my administration is dedicated to making our town a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to the bill list. Approval of the bill list for January 24th, 2018. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion on it? Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Motion passes.
An approval of the regular minutes for January 3rd, 2018. Motion to approve?
Make that motion?
I'll second. Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to ordinances.
Mr. President, before we move forward, I'd like to ask you to look at ordinance number 1, 2018. We have 2 numbers that have to be amended in that ordinance before it's introduced.
Okay.
If you
Well,
would
why
look,
don't we read the title into the record first, and then
you can make the changes if
Okay.
they see.
Ordinance 001, 2018, amending Chapter 2, Article 9 of the Code of Township of Washington, Department of Law Enforcement.
If you would take a look at your ordinance number 1, 2018, in section 2, under 1B, that should read captain of the police not to exceed 1. And under 1E, it should read police officers, which may include patrol officers first class, not to exceed 66. That is the change. Can I get amendment to that?
Make that motion to amend?
I'll
Second.
second, okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I get a motion to introduce?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Ordinance 002, 2018, salary ordinance for 2018. Motion to introduce.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Okay, resolutions. Following resolutions are by consent agenda and only require a vote for all listed. Each one must be read by title. If any member of council wishes to have one removed and heard separately, they need to indicate it prior to the reading of the titles.
Mr. Perry, I would ask that in the motion, if we can table for now, Resolution 40-2018, please, as part of the overall vote on these resolutions.
Okay?
You need a motion.
I get a motion to table?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I need to make a motion for the rest of the resolutions that are in the block vote.
He hasn't read them by title.
That's right, he's going to read them by title now, right?
42 to 46, I'll take care of it. Okay, let's get through that first.
Resolution 29, 2018, resolution approving release of a bond to Harbor Freight. Return funds for bonding posted for large gathering. Resolution 30, 2018, resolution approving release of a bond to the dump. That's a return of funds for bonding. Resolution 31, 2018, resolution approving release of a bond to All That Jazz Dance Studio, another return of funds for bonding. Resolution 32, 2018, resolution approving release of a bond to Tony Soprano's Pizzeria and Restaurante. Return funds for bonding also. Resolution 33, 2018, approving and authorizing liens on real property of the Township of Washington for maintenance work for the Township of Washington. It approves payment to a third party for maintenance work on property. Resolution 34, 2018, resolution authorizing and approving an escrow agreement with RJC Corporation. Provides funds for the developer to pay for evaluation of potential modifications to the existing redevelopment plan for Block 158, Lot 12, 2.01, and commonly known as 104 Gantown Road. Resolution 35, 2018, resolution canceling taxes for a widow of a totally disabled veteran, Block 117.12, Lot 3.03, 146 Bells Lake Road, effective October 31st, 2017. Resolution 36, 2018, resolution canceling taxes for a totally disabled veteran, Block 8216, Lot 19, 18 Corvallis Court, effective December 13th, 2017.
Now I need a motion.
Motion to approve the above listed resolutions.
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. President, we need a motion to pull resolutions 42 to 46 that have been advertised for the public as a draft.
A motion to table.
Motion to table 42 to 46?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now you can proceed. When you get here, stop. I don't want him to come up. You mean, sorry, it's the ordinance. Yes. Bring him back so we can talk about it. Yeah, no, just go ahead and tell him to come up for discussion.
Chief Gersick, you want to come up for the discussion?
The ordinance in front of you tonight eliminates a lieutenant's position and 2 sergeant's positions with hopes that later this year we'll be able to hire additional patrol officers to assign to our patrol division. With me, I brought some stats from 2017. Our officers on patrol answered 581 calls of domestic violence. There were 1,895 arrests, 82 DWI arrests, 337 arrests for possession of narcotics. Our officers issued 6,070 motor vehicle summonses. They answered over 49,000 calls for service, 2,358 motor vehicle crashes. There were 4 fatal motor vehicle accidents last year and 1 homicide at the New Jersey Transit. Our officers easily quadrupled the number of community policing events and community outreach. Are there any questions on the ordinance for me?
Can you effectively run the department with these numbers?
As an administrator, you never want to lose a staff position. However, I do believe we will be able to function efficiently and effectively with the ordinance as it is established up for vote.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, moving on. Resolution 28, 2018, resolution approving the agreement between the Township of Washington and FOP number 86, effective January 1st, 2017 through December, should this be January 18th? Oh, that's right. Okay. Through December 31st, 2021. This is a resolution to approve the contract agreement with the superior officers of Washington Township Police Department. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Recuse.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Resolution 37, 2017, authorizing advertisement requests for coordinator or director for economic development. Get a motion to approve?
I'll make
that-
the motion.
Second.
Any discussion on it? Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Resolution 38, 2017,
Should be 18.
18, resolution appointing Joseph McCucci as full-time zoning officer for the Township of Washington. Motion to approve?
Make the motion.
I'll second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Resolution 39, 2018, appointing Colette Bakich, certified municipal financial officer for Washington Township. Motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Resolution 41, 2018, appointing a deputy municipal clerk. Motion to approve?
Make a motion to appoint Christine Ciella as the deputy clerk.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Donato?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Moving on to old business. Nick, you have anything?
Nope, I'm good.
You have anything?
Not at this time.
Angela?
No.
New business. Nick?
Nope.
Same.
Angela?
No.
You got something?
Reports or new business?
Reports.
Yeah.
Okay, under new business, I have a couple things. The American Legion Post 521 is going to have a pancake breakfast on Sunday, February 18th, from 8:30 to 12:30 at the Senior Center. Adults are $8, seniors are $6, and children and under are $3. And we'll announce this also at the next council meeting.
What was the date, Joe? I'm sorry.
It's February 18th.
And we'll put it on the website as well.
On February 9th, the Cavalry Chapel of Gloucester County will be hosting a Night to Shine prom. This is Tim Tebow Foundation. They're one of 500 churches worldwide that'll be holding a prom for special need people. And that is on February 9th at 6:30 p.m. They're looking for volunteers that can help or want to escort some of the people to the prom, and you can find out the information on the website. That's all I have. Reports?
The only report I was going to say, all the boards, the MUA, the Open Space, and Environmental Commission have reorganized and just getting ready to ramp up for their next year of events, and everything will be forthcoming in the future.
Angela?
Just that on Super Bowl Sunday, we will be doing our 23rd anniversary for the Super Bowl hoagie sale. There's over 300 student and adult volunteers that are there to make the hoagies. You can purchase your hoagies ahead of time online, or you can purchase them the day of. 2-foot hoagies are $10. I will be there making the hoagies. I know the mayor will be. Joe, you came last year. Sean.
Wedding.
Wedding, yeah. So all the money, last year we raised over $600,000 for families in Washington Township and in Gloucester counties facing serious medical situations. So hope you can support the cause. And that's all.
Yeah. On February 3rd, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Republic Bank, right on Gantown Road, we're going to have a kickoff for the Shop Washington Township, so you're all invited. Please come out, light refreshments. It'll be a nice day. Thank you.
Oh, I just have one more too.
Go ahead.
The police department is collecting hats, gloves, and undergarments for the continuing through February for Unforgotten Haven. It's a homeless program. It's through the police department and the PBA. There's boxes here in the municipal building and at the police department if you'd like to drop them off. Thank you.
I just have one announcement. We have a rabies clinic coming up. You have a golden opportunity to come down. If you have a dog,
Or
bring her
cat.
down, or a cat, a free rabies shot. And you still have time to get your dog registered. We have over 3,000 dogs last year that were involved, so please come and get your registration and get that rabies shot. It's extremely important from a Board of Health issue. Also, on February 17th, the Fire District has their election. So come out, support the Fire District from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock at their hall on Holly Avenue. That's all.
Leo, could you just repeat the day for the rabies clinic, please?
It's February 17th.
February 17th.
From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Public Works Garage on McClure Drive. And anyone on council who wishes to be there, we had some great turnout last year. Please come. We appreciate the volunteer help.
And we'll post that as well.
I have two things. I received an email today from a public affairs manager from Walmart, and although that we do have a drop location for drugs, Walmart is going nationwide to have a drop-off location in all their pharmacies for any old opiates. They'll give you a bag, you put it in a bag and you shake it up, so they just wanted to let people know that they're starting that. It's at all Walmart locations, all Walmart and Sam's locations. And then, to wrap it up, I want to personally thank the police and the Public Works Department on the job they did with the snow, the two storms we had with the snow. A lot of times they go as the unsung heroes. You hear all the bad and you don't hear the good. And I want to thank them for the good job that they did with that. Keep it up. Okay. We'll move on to public participation. Public decorum posted, it limits the comments to 5 minutes. A motion to open meeting for the public.
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. It's open to the public.
Let's see if I can be heard now. Can I or no? Okay. Bob Alvarez, Henley Development, Sewell. Congratulations, Mayor, for the improvements of 2017.
Thank you.
Looks like 2018, though, is going to be a tough year for state and local governments. Washington Township will not escape. Residents should focus on the 2018 budget, the BOE, Township, County, and Fire Department. Are we looking at potentially $4 million, $5 million, or more in increases in property taxes for 2018? Property taxes pay for the district budget, the school district budget of 56%, Township's budget 19%, county budget amazingly 19%, Fire Department budget almost 4%, and Open Spaces budget 1.5%. The school budget must be a center of attention for all residents this year. Decisions in Trenton will dictate. Attending the BOE meetings, time to get involved. Washington Township may lose substantial funding as a perennial overfunded district. But do not forget the municipal and county budgets. Rumors have it that the fire department is projecting no increase. Good for them. Rising pension bills, the expiration of key property tax control, and the changing federal tax law will impact residents. First, pension bills. Washington Township by law must pay full contribution recommended by actuaries for the fiscal year beginning July 2018. Municipalities and counties can exceed the property tax cap for pension costs, but they must be willing to do so. Trenton has a shortfall. Do you think Washington Township wants that? The second change, the expiration of the 2% cap on salary increases police and firefighters can win in arbitration. If Washington Township's 6 unions are under contract until 2020, or what we're hearing 2021, and that was tabled, so we have one at least that is not closed, the township dodges a bullet. Municipal public safety costs will not increase faster than the 2% local property tax increase limitation, which remains in effect for the township, but that doesn't prevent a county increase. Other municipal governments say it will force them to slash spending or go around the spending cap to increase revenue. Will Washington Township do this? Third, the $10,000 federal income tax cap on state and local tax deduction could depress home values and sour potential home buyers. This could result in a weaker tax base. Are we going to have a reassessment? Higher tax rates and more resistance to property tax increases as township residents face higher federal and state taxes. The mayor, administration, council, county, and board of education must ameliorate this situation. Thanks to our outrageous local property taxes, the township leaders have no time to waste. The appointed new Economic Development Director, which I hear tonight is not going to be a full-time position, which was announced before, must help update land use and zoning standards to reflect the dramatic changes in demographics, technology, finance, retail life, and work style trends. Most development for the foreseeable future will continue in the form of mixed use. What we're looking for is what has happened with Washington Square. How's that doing? Be good if we got a little bit of a detailed update on that. Dwelling units for smaller childless families, ride-sharing, co-working centers, a rapidly growing experiential 3F, food, fitness, and fun retail businesses are needed. And the surge of e-commerce with its overwhelming deluge of 24/7 package delivery versus brick-and-mortar stores must be addressed. Ignore these trends and eliminate any hope of sharing the rewards of an emerging, vibrant economy future with well-paying jobs, a demographically balanced population, culture, and nightlife in Washington Township. Township citizens and taxpayers cannot and should not fund our antiquated system of home rule anymore. Change is overdue. We need a more regional, holistic, and reliable way to respond to the trends. Every municipal leader on the dais should look for ways to reduce the financial burdens of the citizens of Washington Township. Time to network with state, county, and adjacent municipalities for solutions by consolidating expenses. A quick potential to-do list for 2018. Please update the website. We need a section for economic department, a job board, a Washington Township historical sites map, a council meeting podcast. You can talk to Jane Gill at the BOE to find out how they do it. A council meeting streaming YouTube channel to have events. Adopt a park, realtors in town to promote beautification. And the township road projects that we talked about before, present and future, please include those on the website. It would make it a lot simpler to get around. Economic development. Washington Township fixed assets for sale and inventory is needed. Inventory of distressed properties, abandoned and vacant, demolish and repair. And I'm glad that we have a foreclosure attorney on the case. Inventory of township-owned properties.
20 seconds.
Divestiture for revenue. Grenlock Park, Old Stonehouse Village need work. Pave the parking lots. Numbers on the buildings on Route 42 have to be in compliance. You can't even see where you're going when you get on 42 and you end up having to make U-turns. Route 42 is also a Purple Heart Highway, and there should be state signs.
Bob, I don't want to cut you off. Time's out. Time's up.
Okay? Thank you. And I do think that we should have a Founder's Day on February 17th. It's our 182nd anniversary.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Township. My name is Peter Coppola. I'm a 17-year-old high school student at Township. I kind of had an idea that I'm starting a political science group at the high school. I think the topic of politics from a world perspective and just a township alone isn't really being talked about. I try to have like discussions with friends, and I'm sorry, Mayor Gattinelli, but half of them don't even know who you are. So my goal here is to bring the high school together. I know that we had the racial stuff going on, and I think that will bring students together as well. So my question for you guys is, would anybody, the mayor being, my highest interest, would any of you guys be willing to maybe come guest speak exactly what your position is for the township council and stuff like that? I do have a teacher who would like to be the supervisor, because you need a supervisor for it, and he loves the idea. So other than that, that's really all I have. So hope you guys can help me out. I wrote letters. If anybody needs them or has any questions, my information's at the bottom. Would any of you guys like one? Sure.
Can you give us your contact name and phone number?
Contact name, my name is Peter Coppola, and my phone number is 856.
Oh, it's on there? Okay, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, it's at the
That's all
bottom.
you
My
need.
email's it.
Put me on the list, Peter. Nice job.
Here, man, I'll take one too.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Nice job.
Make sure it's included in the minutes.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Peter. Well done. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, appreciate it. No problem.
Good evening, council. Sorry I've been away too long, but I'm back.
We missed you.
Thank you. I miss you all too. Mayor, you're trying your best to do what you can. I appreciate it. I know you're really trying from the bottom of your heart. I can tell. I can tell the way you talk, the way you act, you're really trying. The issue I have, I don't want to come up here and complain. That isn't my reason for doing it. I'm just trying to make a point. When we say we're going to do certain things, we have to try to follow through with them, maybe a little faster than we have. I started coming to the meetings back in 2015, September, and in October 2015, I was mentioning the issue with the empty homes, and I was told at the meeting that we would try to, do something with them, try to get them moving, try to work with the foreclosures, and we're still talking about it. So hopefully this time, we can get some movement on that. I think it's going to help the property owners. The good paying people that are in the township would like their neighborhoods to look a little bit better than what they are and get somebody in the homes or do something with the homes. It's really important. We really have to follow through with that if we can this year. I think it would make a lot of people happier. I don't know if it'll make them feel better with their property taxes, but they will feel a little bit better. The empty strip shopping centers, we talked about that in great detail also. I know that's difficult because you're dealing with individual owners of the shopping centers. You're talking about rents. You're talking about too many issues to try to get small business people to come in the township. We need to get somebody to come in here. We need to get a ringer. We need to get somebody to come in here to try to entice large businesses in this town that employ more than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. We need big businesses. We need the Trader Joe's. We need the Costco's. We've heard the word Wegmans, so I'm not going to use it, which I did. We're going to Whole Foods. We need somebody to come in here. We do have some big empty pieces of real estate here. We have some empty ground right on the Black Horse Pike that I see the car dealers haven't bought, so I guess they're not interested because there's some empty pieces of, parcels there. But we need to get somehow, some way, get the big business to come in. If the big business comes in, it's going to bring a lot of people into the township. Hopefully it'll employ some of the people in the township, and then we just grow from there. But we need to go big. I don't know what can be done with the small the small centers. I wrote down notes this afternoon saying maybe someone that owns a strip shopping center and, it's only 30 or 40% full, maybe we penalize them. But do we really want to penalize anyone? I mean, what enticement can we give these people to get somebody in those little businesses, at least have them occupied? I don't go down to Sicklerville that often, and I was going down Berwyn Cross Keys Road, and it was at nighttime. It was all lit up. I said, wow, I don't get down there often. I just don't shop down there. I do really try to shop in the town, but it hurt us. And then these discount outlet stores over here in Gloucester Township, that put a kind of hurting on us. But again, they don't have some of the big businesses that are still out there that maybe we can get in, because we do have the ground, we do have some areas where they could build, and I think it would be great. Resolution 33, 018 said you're going to have a third-party maintenance crew come in and do work to empty properties in the township. Is that something that goes out to bid, or is that something we already have? Is that township employees that are going to do that? How does that work? If that's going to be put out, to keep for, third-party maintenance for, doing the properties. What does that mean? If there's something that's unsightly, they fix it and they just put an attachment on the property?
We'll answer that one.
Okay. That's all we really have. Thank you very much. And if I don't talk to you the rest of the night, I look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to take that question now, or? So we put out for maintenance on an RFP once a year for people to come in and do lawn maintenance. In this particular instance, this was for lawn service on a home that required it, 54 cubic yards of debris and 36 man-hours on the job. And it was put out for RFP, and that's what it is. I have the resolution here if you'd like to see it more in detail. It's public record. Okay?
And it's controlled by the zoning officer, so.
And it's controlled by the zoning officer. Right. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and good people of Washington Township. I did have one quick question, though, in regards...
Can you let us know who you are?
Oh, I'm sorry. Susan Pacewick, 2 Buena Court, Turnersville. In regards to the first ordinance, in regards to the additional police officers, my question was, is that going to increase the amount of money that goes towards the police department in order to pay those additional officers, or will the elimination of the current positions balance it out? Or do you not know?
We're actually still working on that, the salary budget. We have the operating budget done. We just actually, the CFO actually just completed it. I've not had a chance to take a look at it yet. So we have to balance the numbers on it.
Fair enough.
There were a few police contracts, CBAs that were entered into last year, so we're calculating those raises as well.
Fair enough.
But we are working on it.
Typically, these things do end up costing money to the taxpayers. But good police officers of Washington Township, please do not take any of my remarks with any disrespectful intentions. I myself am the daughter of a retired police lieutenant. I respect the job and all the troubles that come with it mentally. What I am tired of, though, as well as many of the fellow citizens, is the continuous increased expenditures of taxpayer dollars. So I do want you to take that into consideration. The township has horrible aesthetics, the economic revenue is abysmal, and the overall quality of everything except the police force is going downhill. For those who may not have looked at the ordinance, the summarize is that they want to increase the police force from 81 to 86. But now you have to take into account the crime rate within the township in order to rationalize paying the police officers large amounts of money, as well as looking at the taxes and their median police salaries in order to rationalize increasing the size of that force. The point of higher salaries is to draw police officers in. No one has an issue with working in a town that has an A rating for crime like Washington Township. This is not Philadelphia, and this is not Camden. The statistics that I'm about to illustrate factor in comparative average tenure of officers on the force, and I am not going to compare rookies to veterans. The police officers in our township were making average salaries to comparative municipalities around us. Then the township would actually have the ability to hire even more officers without causing taxpayers additional money. Out of the 24 municipalities that are in Gloucester County, 12 of them have a population of under 10,000, and there are only 2 municipalities that have a population comparative to Washington Township's 48,559 people. Deptford Township, population 30,000, number of officers 66, median salary 78,000, percent of force making 6 figures or more, only 8%. Crime rate, C+, average tenure 13 years, property taxes 5,000. Monroe Township, population 39,132, number of their police officers 66. Median salary, $79,000. Percent of force making 6 figures, only 2%. Crime rate, A-. Average tenure, 15 years. Property taxes, $6,800. Washington Township, population 48,559. The number of officers, 81. Median salary, $87,000. Percent of force making 6 figures, 25%. 1/4 of the police force makes over 6 figures. Average tenure, 13 years. Property taxes, $7,045. How do you rationalize the necessity of adding additional officers to the force with an A- crime rate when we have the highest property taxes next to comparative towns, and 25% of our police force is already making 6 figures compared to the 2 and 8% of the comparative towns? What I also don't like is the way that the ordinance is written. There is no explanation as to what the current code is. It simply just explains what is being changed to. Now, some would infer that this is deliberately making it inconvenient for the public to be informed because now they have to go out of their way to look up the data themselves on the original paperwork rather than being transparent, which is what a lot of you individuals had campaigned on. And the council actually used to do ordinances in 2005. They would explain things. They would write out, this is what it was, and this is what we're changing it to. Now it simply says, we're going to change this. Well, what was it? That's part of being transparent, making the public aware of the changes and not sitting there and assuming that, oh, they'll go out of their way and look it up. You know, people don't have that kind of time. Some of us do, fortunately. But please take the taxpayer dollars into consideration and the amount of money that the police force already makes. I know their job is very hard. I've watched my father do it himself. But $100,000 or more for 25% of the force is absolutely insane. Thank you.
You want to respond to her or not?
Oh, I'll respond to her. You have anything?
Respond or no?
Just on that, this is attempting to take a bite out of that 25%, lowering the number of police administrators and adding potentially additional law enforcement officer on the street. My intent with this ordinance is not to increase the municipal budgets, to keep it exactly where it is, and if we can add officers, maybe an officer or two for those officers. A new officer makes significantly less than a commanding officer, so that is one of the benefits of this, is to lower that ratio down and lower how much we're spending overall in the police department, but still maintain the level of service. Understood.
Chief, correct me if I'm wrong. On the original ordinance, there were 3 captains. We've reduced it down to 1. And I believe you had how many lieutenants? 5 lieutenants. That's down to 4. And we've gone from 15 sergeants down to 13. Correct. So it's quite a difference and a change.
From the
2015.
Ma'am, the way the public portion works at this point, you had your opportunity to speak, so we're going to respond to your comments and questions. So the imprimatur here is really several-fold. Number one, just so everybody knows, the fact that we structure a police department, that's a maximum number. That does not mean that all those positions have to be filled. That's number one. Number two, the goal of this ordinance primarily is to reduce the number of high-level, highly paid officers to a point which is, as the chief indicated, operates efficiently, and actually have an ability. Ma'am, I didn't know if you were, ma'am, I didn't know if you wanted to hear this, respond to your question. And the goal was to reduce the top heaviness of the department while still operating efficiently and putting more police officers on the street. The other piece of it is what price public safety, because the critical mass of any municipality starts with public safety. And you can cite all the statistics that you want, all of those other contracts from other towns and what they make, but there's a lot of embedded and hidden expense in a lot of other contracts. The real story is the 3 collective negotiation agreements, collective bargaining agreements that we have successfully negotiated over the past 12 months. We have reduced a lot of those feather bedding type of expenses that are in there. We've reduced a lot of comp time and leave time charges that had previously existed. So merely looking at the structure of the police department does not, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's really the devil's in the detail. So it's about reducing expenses. It's about promoting public safety, because when somebody needs a police officer, you want that police officer there. If there's a catastrophe, if there's a large scale issue, you have to have that. And finally, as I indicated, this is the structure of the police department. There doesn't have to be all these promotions, and there does not have to be all these positions filled. It just allows for an ultimate structure of the police department. It was something that was discussed with the chief, because it's his department, recommended, and we looked at it from all types of levels: cost, public safety, structure, economies, and efficiencies. And governing bodies make choices all the time, and that was the correct choice. We believe that will be in the best interest of the residents. Sir, you can go ahead.
It's nice to be able to talk out of something I don't have to. Don't make fun there. Joe Fernicola, excuse me, 14 Goodwin Parkway. I have a couple things. On these resolutions, resolutions 40 through 46, are they going to be discussed at some other time?
I'll get back to that when you're done. We respond to your questions when you're done with your 5 minutes.
Well, I want a dialogue with council. I don't want a dialogue with you, sir. These are elected officials.
dialogue
In all
with-
due respect, these are the elected officials.
I didn't say I would, I said council would.
Well, I hope so. Thank you. I just want to know, because in essence, these are going to be items that are going to increase our budget for 2018. And at some point in time, we got to determine what these numbers are. Second of all, people brought up the problem with, excuse me, the property tax issue. We're going to have a major problem in the state, and I hope you understand the magnitude of what we're going to be going through. And in all due respect to the new governor we have, there's a lot of negative aspects that could transpire, which will transpire, regarding pensions, shortfalls. I believe there's over $100 million of unfunded liabilities, and it's going to fall on the burden of all of us. And since we have a tremendous rate of residential expenditures, which means that over 90% of the revenue derived for the township's benefit comes from our homes, we're going to get hit again, and I'm going to get hit again, because I did get an increase from the county, and we're going to get another increase. So I strongly suggest that you have a very strong effort to discuss these particular items with the pension plans, increases, salaries, the arbitration cap, which God only knows what that's going to be, with our respective assembly people and our state senator. I am extremely concerned as a senior citizen of where we're going. And the project, for example, on Virtua, that could be a boondoggle for the Board of Ed. We don't even know how many kids are going to be coming in through that system or that development. We don't even, and the other thing, a very interesting thing, I think I brought this up sometime previously, we're having another assisted living complex there. I know we have no control of it. We're only getting 12% of a service charge. Do we really need something of that magnitude? I mean, is there, I think Ralph brought up an excellent point, and I've been preaching this for years, and I'm not tooting my horn. We have to get a high-powered economic development person to bring in ratables. There's no other thing there's no other way of answering this problem. That's what we need. Do we have to share services? That's something to be examined, because as we progress, we're seeing our receipts stabilizing and our expenditures increasing. And I would like to see, if possible, through our Chief Financial Officer, on a quarterly basis, provide the municipality, the people here, with their receipts and disbursements or a cash flow analysis of where we stand each quarter. Because I'm concerned. I'm not tooting my horn. I have, I could sell my house and take a hike, but I love it here. I'm a first-time grandpa, and I want to stay here as long as I can. But I have many reservations. I'm concerned about marijuana, which could be possibly voted on, and a sanctuary state. These are major issues here. These are major issues. But financially, we're hurting. And I don't know if we can come out of this without major tax increases. The county's going to hit us, and at some point in time, Mary, you're going to have to hit us. We're going to have to get an increase, because all these particular items on these resolutions are going to cost a lot of dollars. So again, I think if we can get a definitive breakdown on the website's terrific. Let's use it. Let's put in some financial information to update people all the time, because we'd like to see what our cash is coming in and going out each month. And I think you would agree with that. I mean, it's a good way to say to people, here's what's coming in and here's what's going out. Now, let's be honest. More is going to be going out than coming in, unless you increase property taxes. Let's be honest. So we've got our hands full, and I know everybody here wants to do the best they can, live here, be happy, but let's be honest. What is it, 93% of the revenue's coming from real estate, the homes, and then the Board of Ed's going to hit us. That's the reality. The state's in financial straits. Let's face the facts. But I think as a best way is having an open dialogue with our assembly
Thanks, Joe.
people.
Joe, your 5 minutes are up.
I'm sorry, can I say just one thing? Our assembly people and our state senator, working with them to get numbers. Thank you.
Those resolutions will be up in the future. They're service agreements with for various reasons, and our solicitor is reviewing them. I think that's probably why he wanted to chime in, but he is looking over each agreement to make sure that it's the best deal we can possibly get.
Okay, anybody else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing no one else, I get a motion to end the public comment.
Make that motion. Second. Jinx.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our next council meeting will be February 7th. We moved it up because of Valentine's Day. So you can spend the night with your sweetheart.